Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Turfcast Podcast YouTube channel with me, Joe Redmond. This is a brand new show that I'm going to be doing just for the next few days, obviously, until the transfer window closes, where I'm just going to basically just do a roundup on all the transfer news, all the latest transfer gossip, all the latest transfer rumours, and just condense into one quick 3, 4, 5-minute video, just to make it all nice and easy to have all the information in one place for you guys. Obviously, the news this morning is that Burnley have missed out on Croatian winger Mislav Orsic. She's decided to stay at Dynamo Zagreb. The club announced it on their social media channels this morning. This was a big blow and a big surprise to Burnley, according to a tweet put out by Athletic journalist Andy Jones. He says the club are disappointed and surprised by Mislav's decision. Several reports were that, several confirmed reports, should I say, were that Burnley chairman Alan Pace was out in Croatia yesterday. He went over to see Mislav and his agent, according to some reports. So he flew out to Zagreb to go and see, to try and wrap the deal up. But for whatever reason, he's had a change of heart. The club have been pretty confident that this deal was going to go through for several days now. And that's not just me saying that. That's loads of national journalists, loads of local journalists, all saying that they expected the deal to go through. According to reports from Alex James in Lancs Live, he says Burnley's transfer pursuit of Mislav Orsic is over after the player has decided to stay at Dynamo Zagreb. The Croatian international had said that he was keen to move to the Clarets, and Turf chairman Alan Pace flew out on Friday to Zagreb for talks, as we said, but Lancs Live understands the deal was pretty much finalised, including a fee, but the player has had a last-minute change of heart. So that just backs up what I've just said about the tweet from Andy Jones, the Burnley reporter at The Athletic, is that Burnley are quite surprised by this. Of course they are. They wouldn't be flying out to Zagreb if you expected it to fall through. So Burnley would have obviously thought that the deal was pretty much there. It was pretty much done. You know, it was sorted. It was ready. It was just a case of putting pen to paper by the looks of it. But for whatever reason, he's had a change of heart. There was banners outside his house or outside his training ground this week, according to some reports. There were reports that Zagreb was stalling because they wanted him to play in this weekend's game. Apparently, it's first against second in the Croatian league. So who knows? Someone's obviously had a word in his ear and changed his mind. He was set to double his wages at Burnley and playing the Premier League, which is said to have been one of his dreams. But for whatever reason, he's decided to stay there. Like I said, someone obviously from Zagreb has had a word in his ear and said, basically, stay here. In the earlier tweet I mentioned by Andy Jones, the Burnley reporter at The Athletic, Burnley are still hopeful a deal may be done at some point, but obviously it's not looking like it's going to be done in the next few days. He goes on to say that would more likely be the summer. Now, you would expect that would be, you know, dependent on what league we're in, and without any incomings, the chances are we won't be in the Premier League come next season. Burnley are still chasing Dutch international striker Wout Weghorst. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. According to reports, he was in Burnley on Thursday. He came to have a look at the training facilities. He came to speak to officials from the club. He then flew back to Germany, where he's playing his football currently as a striker at Wolfsburg, but then trained on his own on Friday morning and then missed training on Friday afternoon. There's even some reports that he came back to Burnley on Friday, but they have not been confirmed by any decent sources. Call me a fool, but I'm still thinking this one might get done. He does look a little bit more keen than Mislav to me, just looking at the facts. He's flown to Burnley himself, whereas we had to go and fly to Croatia to try and tie the Orsic deal up. This guy's come to Burnley himself, then he's trained on his own, so that would suggest to me that he's spoken to Wolfsburg on Friday morning and said, yes, I like what I saw, I would like to go over there. So I'm still hopeful that this one can get done, according to a report in The Telegraph, which was published Friday, to be fair. It says Burnley are still working hard to complete the signings of Wout Weghorst, and it does go on the same Mislav Orsic as well. Obviously, we all know what happened with that one, but just looking at the Weghorst thing, a source close to him confirmed the 29-year-old is currently back in Germany after flying out to the club's training ground on Thursday. As we've said, talks between the clubs and the players' representatives remain ongoing, while Wolfsburg are refusing to comment on the player's future. So hopefully we don't get another situation there where someone just convinces him to stay out the blue, then they do a stupid video just announcing that a player is staying. Fingers crossed we can get that one done, but as I said, I am still hopeful that we can. And a name that doesn't seem to be going away is Aaron Ramsey. Now, this one might seem a little ambitious. Obviously, it would depend on the wage structure and whether we obviously pay an X amount of his wages. Probably, 20% is probably the best we can do, something like that, looking at what he's on at Juventus. But a report in The Sun yesterday suggested that there is nobody actually interested in Aaron Ramsey anymore, apart from Burnley. We're the only club that are still trying to get him signed in this window. According to certain people, I think it was Chris Borden, the Burnley Express, it was according to a tweet that he put out this morning, he is actually keen on going to Crystal Palace. Obviously, that's Aaron Ramsey. He's keen on going to Crystal Palace, but Palace are more interested in getting Donny van de Beek. There was a tweet from Fabrizio Romano, the transfer Don, this morning, and he said Juventus are still trying to find a solution for Aaron Ramsey before Monday. Burnley want to sign him immediately, but there is no green light as on the player's side as of now. So again, that just backs up the fact that Burnley are still interested, but it doesn't look like he wants to necessarily come to Burnley. He wants other clubs to be his priority, like Palace, as Chris Borden has said in a separate tweet. To me, I think it's obvious he doesn't want to come, or in his eyes, he wants to go to what he sees as a better club first, a club more suited to him. And then maybe, just maybe, if nobody else is interested in him, he will come to Burnley. Do we really want a player with that sort of attitude? Will he still come and give 110%? Because that's obviously what we need in this relegation battle. Fingers crossed, if it does come, it does show 110%. Having said that, I don't think Daesh will settle for any less. So if he comes, obviously, fingers crossed he can settle in. And I think he's obviously got the quality. He's a very good player, and he's better than pretty much any midfield option that we've got or have pretty much ever had. So fingers crossed. I would be happy with Ramsey. I would prefer Fofana, but I think that one's pretty much dead in the water. I've not heard anything on that one in a few weeks, really. So there you have it. That's all the latest news, rumours, gossip surrounding Burnley and the transfer window. It's obviously not good news to start off this transfer show with. We had all hoped. We all went to bed last night with the news in our heads that Alan Pace was out in Croatia, and we're all hoping that maybe it would get announced this morning. I even scheduled a few tweets to go out. Basically, I think I did a postcard to Croatia and things like that. And I woke up to people saying, like, you need to delete this now. He's not coming. The deal's off. Delete the flag out your name. I was like, I've literally just woken up. So not the news we all wanted. Obviously, it's a shame we missed out on Orsic, but fingers crossed the club have got a plan B, because Jesus Christ, they need one right now, don't they? It seems to me like they put all their eggs in the Orsic basket and they've missed out on him. So now it will be panic stations. That's just me just looking at the situation. Obviously, I'm not ITK or anything. I never said I am. But that's what it looks like to me. Fingers crossed we've got a plan B, because if they don't, then we are, again, up shit creek without a paddle. But thanks for watching. If you've liked the show, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of this and more Burnley content, please hit that subscribe button. We try and get a video out every 2-3 days, depending on work situations. But thanks for watching, and I'll do another transfer show tomorrow.